think is your strongest quality as an actor, and conversely, your weakest quality as an actor?
I will say this because I was talking with someone who just the other day said this about me, so I feel like I could say it without sounding weird. I have been told, and actually you touched on this earlier, that generosity is one of my strong suits. That's not necessarily a super conscious thing. I think it does stem from just like wanting to have a good time and wanting to serve the story and to, make the director happy. And I think that for the most part, I'm pretty good about being like, it's not about me, it's about the story. On the flip side of that, when you're the leading lady, sometimes you do clock into your own head and get super self-conscious and get stage fright and overanalyze and be like, ah. I think for sure the worst performances I've given have been when I'm only worried about me. And the best performances I've given have been when I am not in my own head at all, and when I'm focusing on the people on stage with me, which is like really very basic, like good acting is listening, like the doy. But
it's really difficult to not be in your head in an industry where you are on display. As you said earlier,
yeah,
we're on display. Everything is open. All of my emotions, all of my wounds, all of my insecurities, everything is on display for people to see. So it's very difficult to not get in your head.
I have been lucky to get the opportunity to do a couple of plays, and I find them easier in the sense that I am less concentrated on myself when I don't have to deliver a musical number. God knows that I can be so in the scene, and then you hear and I'm like, art is subjective, of course, but there is a right and a wrong note. There is a note on the page, and if you hit it, great, and if you don't, not so great. And you have a music director who's in the pit looking at you going like, I gave you this note this afternoon, please do the thing that I asked you to. Like, it's very whereas with the text you can live a little more in just like, I don't know, being less focused on there being a right performance. And of course you still have guidance, you still have boxes you need to hit, you still have your objectives, obstacles, all of these tools in your toolkit to deliver a performance that you've crafted. But with the singing,
there are notes you have to hit, there are rhythms you have to hit, there are harmonies you have to hit. It is literally a construct.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious every day of my life. Oh my God, the fear in my eyes every time we do that number.
Vanessa, what is one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to you on stage?
Hands down, in an octoroon at the Shaw Festival, I fell off the stage in a ball gown, and the skirt went over my head. I ate it down the thing. And I came down to the green room and laugh crying because I was like, that was mortifying. Also, it was literally the funniest thing ever. Like, a man in the third row was like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. It was possible to vomit. And poor Andre Sills is standing on stage, and it's like literally the moment when the two lovers, it's, classic melodrama. The ingenue says like, we can't be together, and flees. And I'm supposed to run down the aisle and exit through the audience. And my dress caught on one of the footlights. So I'm like, I can't. Boom, just hate it. And Andre literally, I'm like, my feet are in the air, my skirt's over my head, I'm sure my butt is out to the world. And Andre goes, Zoe, my love, are you okay?
Friends, literally, that is probably the most embarrassing story that any actor has ever had. What are the struggles of being a person of color in theater in Canada? And conversely, what are the joys?
I'll start by saying that I identify as Black. I do not identify as a person of color. I am a Black woman. So obviously that comes with some of the struggles we've already discussed, like things that lots of people struggle with, but that Black women tend to have a little more experience struggling with, like the hair, like the not being like the ideal producer's vision of that character, even if you know that like you understand that and could deliver an incredible performance of that part, coming up against those barriers for sure. I think that I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that I am like incredibly lucky to be in this industry at this time. People like you, women who came before you have paved the way and made my journey 1,000 times easier. So I can acknowledge that I have had my own struggles, and that also they, in general, pale in comparison to what other people have experienced. That being said, there has still been some like weird fun times. A lot of them do end up being around hair, body, image. Of course, a lot of it deals with casting and just not getting in the room, or being not seriously considered, or being typecast based on Blackness. Of course, the flip side of that is that there are some incredible roles that are for Black people, and those have been some of the most transformative experiences for me. I definitely came out of theater school believing that I would only play maids for the first 5 years of my career, and I am very happy that that has not been the case. What is strange about kind of what my theater training did to my brain is it actually sort of made me not want to play Black parts. I was really excited about breaking barriers and proving that I could play any part, and I still am, and I still think that's a really important part of what a lot of artists in this industry are trying to do. But I didn't want to audition for Obsidian Theater. I didn't want to dig a deeper hole into this, I don't even know what to call it, this really narrow lens of what I could do.
Exactly. Stereotype of what Black people should be able to play. Should being the operative word.
Yes, exactly. I mentioned it before, but I think Passing Strange really cracked that open for me. It was unbelievable to be in a room of entirely Black artists and to have like this freedom that I didn't know I wasn't experiencing. Like I didn't know I had been lacking it until I had it, and then I was like, whoa, that's what that feels like. Oh my God. Of course, I still believe that the Black roles that we get to play shouldn't only ever be slave stories or stories of oppression or stories of like, stories of struggle. We can have stories of Black excellence and Black success, and just Black humanity too. If I'm playing a part, then it is a Black story because I am Black. So that's just
the end.
This is the end. That's just it.
There's a place for us in every show. It's just whether or not the creative team has the creative vision to allow us to be a part of their shows, and conversely, not just be a part of them just because, but because they value what we will bring as the people that we are.
There is enough work for us, and we are creatives, and I've started dipping a toe into the directing world as well, because I also feel like there are so many stories that don't get cracked open, because that point of view is not what is traditionally existing. That was not a very clear sentence. Let me try that again.
I liked it though.
Did you?
I did.
I'm not sure it said anything.
What previously existed is what you're alluding to. I'm so glad that you've taken that step to tell more stories, not necessarily just our stories, but more stories, different stories, because there are different people in the world, and art is subjective. Let's open it up for everybody and normalize seeing people of color, be it Black, yellow, blue, green, hopefully not green. Let's see their stories. Let's hear their stories. Let's enjoy their stories. Let's celebrate their stories. That's the point. And then hopefully when you see that we are all the same, we all have the same parts and emotions and feelings and thoughts, then we can stop being so scared of the other. That's my hope.
And stop othering in general. The universal humanity says that there is no other. Like, I understand what you're saying when you try to say like the same. It's not that we are the same, is that there is a shared human experience.
Yes.
That is the essence of art. That is always subjective, but that is essential to humanity.
I love it.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode of the Blacktor Studio.
If there was no gender or race requirements, what is a role you would like to play? I call them dream goals. See what I did there?
You're not going to like my answer, but I feel like I'm moving further and further away from dream roles, dream goals. I am really excited about new works and creating roles and workshopping. I think that's just what is more interesting to me at this moment in time. And that's not to say that there aren't, like, of course, beautiful, beautiful works that are already in existence and deserve to be
explored,
produced, and explored. I've just found that it kind of hinders my own artistic practice to be like, that's a thing I really want to do, and if I don't get to play that role someday, then I haven't succeeded at my goals or my dreams or whatever. And it's just like, no, my dream is just to create, and creation can be within an existing character, or it can be bringing something new to life, and I am more interested in bringing something new to life.
P.S. I did not hate that answer.
Okay.
I would have hated it if you'd said, I don't have any dreams or I don't have any goals. That's what I would have hated. You know what I mean?
I am dreamless.
I would have hated the answer if you had said, I have no dreams or goals.
Roll their eyes because they're like, oh, okay, she's like going to answer the question in a way that doesn't answer the question. I think that, like, in college, I had a list of roles I wanted to play.
Right.
And now I don't.
Yes, but that's,
if
that's the
someone
point.
offered Nala on Broadway,
You would take it.
Yes.
Right.
If someone offered me Simba on Broadway, I
would take it.